All right, everybody, welcome. Oh, no, I didn't change the names. Oh, all right, everybody, welcome back to the Sooner or Later podcast. I'm your host, Joey, and this week we're not reviewing Dungeons and Dragons. We're reviewing John Wick 4. John Wick 4, is it Chapter 4? No, it's John Wick 4. I don't give a fuck. Directed by, nobody else can hear you guys. I keep forgetting. No, I know. So John Wick Chapter 4 is directed by Chad Stahelski, written by Shay Hayton and Michael Finch, based on characters by Derek Kolstad. I don't care about producers. Cinematography by Dan Louston, edited by Nathan Orloff, music by Tyler Bates and Joel J. Richard. Production companies were Summit Entertainment, Thunder Road Films, and 8711 Productions, distributed by Lionsgate. John Wick Chapter 4 had a release date of March 6, 2023 in London and March 24, 2023 in the United States, with a runtime of 169 minutes and a budget of $100 million. As of 4/2/2023, John Wick Chapter 4 has brought in $244.8 million, making it a smash hit at the box office. John Wick Chapter 4 has a 94% on the tomato meter with 305 reviews, a 94% audience score with 5,000 plus verified ratings, a 78 Metacritic score with 58 critics, and a 8.6 user score with 262 ratings. And a Reddit U poll of 8.48. But the only people whose... Oh, wow. Come on. I care about that. The only people whose opinions matters are ours. And you're going to get 10 minutes of spoiler-free starting now. Go ahead, boys.
All right. You didn't
No, just go. It's fine. They get extra 3 seconds.
So, for me, like John Wick still does it, right?
How could it not do it for you? This movie is just another John Wick movie, and that means it's perfect again. Oh.
John Wick 2. There doesn't exist.
No, John Wick 2 is still the best to me. Like,
okay, so I'm gonna say something controversial. I think we all agree that John Wick 2 is the best, then, right? Because it is far and away the best John Wick movie.
I was thinking it's the worst.
There's no fucking way.
Get out of here.
There's no way, dude. All cap.
No,
it's on site then, Eric. If you're not capping, it's on site then. Go ahead, finish your stupid sentence.
When I initially saw John Wick 2, I was disappointed.
There's no way, bro. He kills a dude with a fucking pencil in that movie, Eric.
In John Wick 1, it's a great setup and stuff. It's really cool. It's nice and tight. But the way they expand on 2, and you see the Baba Yaga do Baba Yaga things.
That's when he Baba Yagas. That's 100%.
You're only kind of getting who Baba Yaga this, Baba Yaga that. But no, you fear Baba Yaga in 2.
I'm pretty sure Go ahead.
He's his strongest in 2.
100%.
Like,
I agree with that. Okay, I agree with that.
He might be OP in 2, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he's too powerful in 2, maybe. And if that's your like, hey, this is why 2 isn't perfect. Like, sure.
No, I think just the magical one. Like, I didn't know anything about John Wick. I randomly saw it on a school night, and I was blown the fuck away.
A school night, dude? You're already 37 when John Wick came out.
What the fuck's kind of school night are you talking about? Look, I'm going to tell you how it is right quick.
When he was learning English.
Yeah. He was in English school in a dirt hut or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Look, I'm going to put it to you like this. John Wick 2 is to John Wick and all the sequels as Terminator 2 is to the first Terminator and all the sequels. Okay? Terminator's fun.
Okay.
Terminator post-Terminator 2, shitty. A lot of bad movies, but it's still fun.
Eric was trying to be like, this is like Toy Story, and it's not, all right?
It's
Toy
not.
Story 2 was a banger, but once 3 and 4 came out, we're like, oh, they changed the game.
Yeah.
They changed the game. Like,
and let me know. Go ahead.
These don't change the game. They expand on the series, and I think it's fantastic. The lore is so good. To me, though, 4, as great as it is, does a little too much exploring, and I need more. There's a lot.
Focus. This movie is dense. And it lost me sometimes because I kept forgetting whether or not we saw people in the previous movies. Hasn't this series been going on for like 15 years or some shit, it feels like?
No.
I know it hasn't, but like the first one I feel like came out 10 years ago, which like is a long time to only get 4 movies.
I think you're right, but probably by now it has probably been 10 years. Let me look up
it's
the
been
actual...
So 3 was 2019, 2 was 2017. So what was 1?
I have no idea.
It's been almost 10 years.
Holy shit.
Which is like a long time to try to keep a storyline going where it's one dude fucking some shit up for 10 years straight. It's kind of hard to keep it all together, not gonna lie. There were some times where I was like, did we meet Hanzo in this other movie? Because I forgot about it. I remember him from Endgame when he got murdered by Clint, but that was about it. I don't remember him from John Wick.
I think this one, because of what's going on outside of this John Wick movie, was doing a lot. Like, because like they're doing the spin-off, because they're doing the spin-offs and they're doing the prequels, and I think they're like, hey, we're still, and I still think they told a clean film, but that's why this film I think is also longer, because they were just like, hey, because if you cut off like a lot of extra stuff, the movie's still a nice, clean, like, hour 40 John Wick movie, but they needed at least like 40, 50 minutes, well, maybe 30 minutes what it is. I don't know how long the film time is. It was kind of long.
It's 2 hours and 45 minutes. 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Long, but yeah, I think there's like that 45 minutes is like other stuff.
It's all the, I forgot we're in spoiler free. It is just other stuff, right?
Yeah.
Which sets up, like you said, other stuff that's to come. But I really wish they would have just not addressed it. Because it does feel bloated, just a little bit. It feels a little bloated.
I think, too, there's times in the John Wick verse where I'm like, okay, hey, this is the John Wick world. It is what it is. Like, you have to accept stuff for, like, what it is.
Yeah.
But there's certain times when I'm watching this, and I'm like, I get it in a sense of, like, some stuff with honor and some stuff with, like, that. But I'm like, logically, I don't think the way they're telling this makes sense. The action sequence, though, is flawless. So, like, you kind of let it be.
Right.
But there's certain stuff that happens throughout these movies. And it's the whole series. Yeah. Where you're like, oh, I guess, they're men of honor. But then you have other people that aren't honorable. So it's like, I don't know when should someone be honorable and not.
Yeah.
But it's like, you just have to be like, okay, hey, this is just a character trait of this person. So they will, like, let John Wick kind of get away with stuff at certain times. And it's like, because John Wick should die in the series at least 50 times.
I mean, I don't think it's spoilers to say that he got thrown off of a fucking roof last movie.
Big story.
Yeah, and he hit a piece of metal.
He's near death. Like, I think in 2, though, he's his best without almost dying. Like, he does Kung Fu and he's unstoppable. Yeah. But in 3 and 4 and like in 1, I think he is like more human. Like, he feels probably more human in this movie. Like, 3 was pretty action packed too. But I don't know. I don't know. There was more of a human element, I think, to him in 4.
Then in 3? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree
think
with you
like
there.
More so than 2 and 3. Like, 1 is he's, I think, his most because he's also like a bit of the movie. He's like a retired guy,
I mean, 1 is the most realistic movie out of all of them, though.
It's 1 is the most
down to earth.
For sure. And just like it's not outlandish. Like there's
mainly because it was only 20 million to
for sure.
Oh, really? That's cheap.
Yeah. It feels like the first one feels like you could tell it's like an indie movie.
It's indie movie.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah. To me it was like, oh, it almost gives you like short film kind of feel to it.
Yeah.
But then these other ones are clearly big blockbusters because even with this movie, like so Keanu and the director's like, we want to be done in it's Lionsgate, right?
Yeah. No, they're they're the distributors.
Yeah, but whoever's behind it is just like, well, but we can do more.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, money talks. Like, because before the movie came out, everyone was saying like, hey, we're going to wrap it up with 4, and that's going to be that. And it probably still is. Like,
No. In 2020, Lionsgate CEO John Feltheimer confirmed that a 5th film was also being developed.
Yeah, I knew a 5th film was coming out.
It was intended to be shot back-to-back with the 4th installment in early 2021, but in March 2021, Lionsgate opted to delay production and move forward with Chapter 4 first. So 5 still could be happening.
Okay. I mean, there's a lot of I see, but it must be Keanu and the director. What's the director's name?
Chad Stahelski or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, Keanu has said like, "Hey, as long as Stilinski's in there, I'm in."
Mm-hmm. But I think the director wanted to do other stuff is a thing, and that's where you run into trouble with some of these franchise things. And hey, if they're on board, I'm on board. If it's other people, like, don't like. Even if Keanu comes back, like, don't change the director. Just like, hey, if this movie is 10 years apart, the next one, it is what it is. Like,
but like, he's kind of wild for not wanting to do another one.
Yeah, but when you're considered like a one-trick pony, sometimes I don't know if it's an ego thing. I don't know what it is, but
you're saying Stilisky or
yeah.
Yeah, Keanu. He's done on it.
But also, Keanu is a one-note typecast type of dude. He does the same shit every time. It's just he does it real well. He's trying to act.
Meta too.
Well,
like,
yeah.
He's either this or he's Keanu Reeves.
Yeah. But like this guy is. He'd be wild to do anything else, especially when people are still clamoring for this shit.
I'm surprised after 4 movies, and like people are even like when they're talking about the prequel and the spinoff, and people being like, "Oh, I'm game."
I'm not as game, by the way. I'm going to be super hesitant for the spinoff and the prequel. I'm going to be very hesitant about it.
The spinoff, because I've liked what Ana de Armas has done in movies similar to this, and I think she's a great actress. The prequel, I think I won't care enough because it's going to be a bunch of characters like are like I guess also new, but like I don't know who's in it yet. Like
we haven't seen anything about it.
Yeah.
All right, we're down to 30 seconds. So hold your thoughts about anything else that's less important for the thumbs up to happen. And in 3, 2, 1. That's a big thumbs up.
3 thumbs up.
3 thumbs. We got
just 3 though. So it's less thumbs than the previous movie we just reviewed. But what are you gonna do? You got to be better than that. Maybe this movie should be John Wick 2 and it would have gotten 4 thumbs up.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, it would have got half a thumbs up for me.
Oh wow, you're just doing that to be a contrarian, dude. You're fucking honey dicking me. I don't want to hear it.
Quick, Longoria was a producer on the first one.
I feel like I vaguely remember hearing that. And you're going to vaguely remember hearing it also when you hear the spoiler full thoughts on John Wick Chapter 4. So make sure you go ahead, you reload your Viper, you do a little head tilt, you hold the gun sideways, and you throw your long hair, and you gun butt the subscribe button, and then you're going to take the gun apart, and you're going to stab that notification bell right in its filthy little throat. You're going to stab it in its throat. God, I love these movies are crazy. Click that button in the top right-hand corner to hear our spoiler-full thoughts. We love you guys. Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
I just want you guys to know that I have screwed this recording up royally.
Oh, YOLO.
Nice.
It's real bad, but that's okay. We're going to make it work.
We're going to fight through it.
100%.
The director has only directed John Wick movies, and he's been a producer on Day Shift and then some movie called Bruised in 2021.
But he's been a fight coordinator his whole life, though.
Correct.
He's been a stuntman his whole life.
I mean, stunt stuff is like great.
Like,
he worked on.
He met.
I mean, that's how he knows Keanu,
right?
Like,
through the Matrix.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to it though. We're in spoilers, so I'm gonna just say it. How the fuck are they gonna make a 5th movie if John is dead? I don't understand. Yeah. How are you gonna make a John Wick movie without John Wick?
Keanu have said if he writes it well and it's Stilisky, I'm in.
But how?
So he's like, it's one of those things.
Who knows?
Where like I don't think he's dead. Like is a thing. Like if they don't do another movie, he's dead.
Yeah.
If he
okay.
do another movie, he's in he's gonna be in some coma type thing.
They left it vague enough.
Yeah. Or they're just gonna crank it and they're gonna bring him back to life by putting a car battery up to his heart.
Shit.
But yeah, I think it was one of those things. But it could easily be his life flashing before his eyes type thing. He's seeing the one he loves, and he just takes a big old gas, and he wakes up on the stairs. Like,
yeah, I'm thinking I'm back alive. I'm thinking I'm a zombie.
Yeah, I'm back again. Guess who's back again? John Wick is back.
Could they call it though? Like, this is gonna be bad, so don't roast me, okay? Just hear me out. Could they call it like? What was the daughter's name from the Tokyo Continental or whatever the fuck it was called?
I know, but I don't know.
I don't know what her name was either.
I don't know.
She was a badass. She had great knife skills though. But like, could they call it her character's name and then be like a John Wick story?
No, I think it'd be like,
that.
Or in the world of John Wick, and then it's like her name is
Akira
Shimatsu Koji.
So I think it'd be
that's
John
the manager.
Wick.
My bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think it'd be like John Wick Presents, and then it'd be like the name or whatever.
So it's like Glass Onion?
Yeah,
Glass Onion. I think they would still want the John Wick up front. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's such a bad name, though. It'd be so bad. But like, that's the only way that they could do it.
I mean, they could even just John Wick dash and then the lady's name, and people would be like, "Oh, okay." It's
Akira Koji's beginnings or whatever.
Yeah.
That Osaka Continental, though. Ooh. Go ahead.
I personally think if they do make another one, they should not bring Keanu back. I think this is the perfect end cap to John Wick. The character. Yeah.
John Wick's the story needs to end, but they've set enough stuff up in this movie to expand on the universe. That's why I'm not too mad about this movie being real fluffy. Yeah. Because it's like I don't know.
Like
this
what
movie,
though, James?
So
I didn't think it was fluff at all. I like the whole.
I think everything with the Continental fluff. Cut it. Yeah. Cut it. The only reason they did it was to get you a little bit more hype about the TV show. This is the only reason they did it.
The prequel.
Because it's like, what do I care? I don't give a fuck about this manager. This manager is a scumfuck bastard who just tried to kill John.
Wilson, dude, come on.
He does everything for himself.
Yeah, he just tried to kill John, and the only reason he's in this movie
but he
is
didn't
to be
try to kill John. Come on, he fucking winked.
There ain't
I'm gonna shoot you in the chest.
There ain't no way he knew he was gonna live on that building.
He didn't shoot him to kill him. It was one of those things where he's like, "I'm gonna shoot you in a non-deadly area, and if you happen to live from this, you happen to live from this."
But but he still shot him though. It's he could have shouldered him. He didn't shoulder him though.
But no, it was one of those things where it's like, I hope he lives from this, but like if he dies, like I got no choice.
It was one of those things where he had to look like his intent was to kill Wick in front of the fucking the dudes.
Still scumfuck bastard.
My fluff stuff is the high table stuff and expanding on the high table because they keep doing it, but then to what end? Like,
so what piece exactly? Right, because everybody's always talking about the high table. Everybody's like, oh, high table this, high table that. But like, what piece was like, I don't give a fuck about this.
But like, even the main villain in this movie, and it's just like the point is where they spend time explaining like who he is or whatever, and it does not matter.
But Bill Skarsgård is so good.
No, I thought that was a good. I thought that was a good like thing. Like literally, the high table, all of them agreed to make this guy the marquee do whatever.
the mouthpiece or whatever for the shit.
I thought that was good.
I also liked it.
The high table uses people all the time. Like we've seen that established throughout the whole universe. Like I get it. They use more people more now. Like there's levels to it. Sure.
Yeah, but like you wouldn't have gotten Bill Skarsgård looking sexy in some suits though if they didn't do it. Man, those suits were nice as hell.
Another hitman. Them setting up him being the marquee didn't make a difference.
It did though.
Nah, he was just a person that was like, all right, I sent him people. He's no different than the character.
If he was another hitman, then he wouldn't be able to deconsecrate the Continentals. Because he had that power to deconsecrate them. Yeah. And he could kill on their fucking floor.
Bro.
Yeah, but it didn't stop John Wick, so it was a waste of time.
Nothing stops John Wick. John Wick stops John Wick.
Skarsgård's character and the villain in 2 can do all the same stuff besides like, hey, this Continental is not legit.
No way. I don't believe you. I gotta look up 2. I gotta look up 2, but I don't believe you.
What was the villain in 2?
Bro, it was fucking Ricardo Sacramento or whatever the fuck this dude's name is. The villain
Santorini.
Yeah.
Yeah, Santorini. Yeah, right. I remember now.
I mean, he had John Wick stank his sister though, so like the man was unhinged.
But that wasn't in the Continental, so all rules were free.
Yeah, hold on, bro. I feel like you're really lessening Bill Skarsgård's character in this movie. He was a much more menacing character than Santino was. 100%.
All I'm saying though, that Continental killing stuff doesn't really matter. In the first 2 movies, people literally try to kill people in the Continental. So like this guy stopping the Continental.
But they wouldn't have gotten caught, you know? Like John did some shit out in the daylight. Like he was doing Pilates and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
nobody does Pilates in daylight.
Nobody. Like, you know, I think it matters. I think the fact that this dude is able to just fuck whatever he wants matters. Because it's like, oh shit, the high table really wants my man dead now.
Yeah.
They're pulling out the big guns.
They're literally bankrolling this fucking guy.
They got Pennywise in the cut.
Like he has all this power, and then all it takes is the one family to be like, oh yeah, we'll set up a dual 1v1, and then he's like, oh shit, he can't do nothing.
Well, because, you know, there's rules.
That's his hubris.
Yeah.
No, there was no hubris. No,
he was sending no boy to die.
Yeah,
he wasn't doing nothing.
Because he didn't want to do it in the first place. He hit him with the old rules are meant to be changed, and then the manager was like, no, they won't go for that. And then the high table didn't go for that all of a sudden. They must not want
that
John
guy was
dead.
kind of a cool little side character. Like I got just enough of him. The dude that was running the last duel, and then he also was missing his ring finger.
Oh, you're talking about what the hell's his
old
name?
John Wick?
No, yeah, basically, right?
You didn't look like old John Wick.
Clancy Brown, who also voices Mr. Krabs.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure. No, dude,
like,
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he's like a character actor. He's like in a lot of stuff.
Bro.
Also, we didn't mention how fucking you're saying all that Continental shit doesn't matter. So what? Lance Reddick, Sharon dying doesn't matter.
That's different, bro.
He died in real life, so he was probably sick. So
no.
Yeah.
He died suddenly. So. No. They didn't even think he was gonna.
They didn't read his autopsy. You know, I don't know.
No, it was a surprise to everybody.
Yeah, it was a surprise.
Yeah, that showed. They were like, we got to kill you off because we got to introduce 5 other characters.
We need more concierges. Yeah.
But my thing is like they're gonna tell us all this stuff in the prequel series anyway.
That's what I didn't care about it, because it's like you're telling me a bunch of shit that I feel like, other than them killing a fan favorite character, none of the shit with the Continental mattered.
Like I can get behind your guys saying like the power of him being able to shut stuff down. Like sure, like I guess in a sense he had to have that position, which does make sense. But outside of that, it's just like. But my thing is, Girl is able to send in hit squads in the Continental anyways, because like they were adjudicators. Like he's not too different even from the third villain. That's the adjudicator. You know what I mean? It's like
I can't remember John Wick 3 for shit.
Because they deconcentrated the goddamn Continental.
So yeah, an adjudicator and them did it. So what does it matter that he's the one that says the word versus the high table saying the word? It doesn't make a difference.
The adjudicator speaks for the high table.
No. No. An adjudicator does not speak for anybody. An adjudicator is a judge. That's why judge is in the name.
Oh, yeah.
So an adjudicator is someone who presides, judges, and arbitrates during a formal dispute or competition. So they're very different.
But in world, it might be a little different. Or is that the definition in world?
No, that's the definition. No. Yeah, that's the definition in the real world. But the high table doesn't. They're pretty literal dudes. You know what I mean? Yeah. They seem to use words exactly.
The same shit kind of happened in 3. So, like, him having this new power, we've already seen it. So it's not like
but that was like a local thing. That was like a New York only. This dude literally went to 3 different fucking spots.
New York was already on thin grounds. Like,
they were on some thin ice for sure.
Needed to be blown up. Every movie someone did something you were in literally the first 2 movies, people try to kill in New York. Like that one had to go. But it didn't take much.
I think one thing that we should recognize, which is the difference maker between 3 and 4, is that the adjudicator is acting at the behest of the high table, whereas the marquis makes the decisions for the high table. There is no voting when you have a marquis. The marquis does it.
Yeah.
Not above the high table, but like...
They entrusted him to make all the decisions, whereas the adjudicator has to act at the behest of the high table. Yeah. So it's like adjudicator, high table, marquee. Yeah. I got you. Yeah. I'm a word man.
So I get understand because the marquee is the commissioner of the league, where the owners really run the league.
Yes.
But the commissioner makes decisions until the owners are like, "Hey, this isn't working for us anymore, so you're out." Like that's literally the setup.
Yeah.
And the adjudicators, them the general managers. All right. Like I get it. I understand. I understand how it's set up.
And the hitters are the assassins. The home run hitters are all the assassins.
Yeah. They're your star quarterbacks. They're your home run hitters.
Okay.
And Shohei is John Wick.
It's John Wick, right? right, I got a shirt I gotta make. It's gonna be John Wick's body and hair and Shohei Ohtani behind it with a bat instead of a gun. Bam,
yeah, doing bad food, dude.
Yeah. But like, I can understand. It does kind of suck that like all the villains of John Wick are the same. They are skinny white guys who are not threatening physically but have power.
Yeah. So like to me, like there wasn't enough of a like, and don't get me wrong, still love 3, still love this movie.
Oh,
but there wasn't enough change where I'm like, hey, like that's why to me it's like okay, and I don't know how I rank them yet. Like I probably need to watch them all again. I just know right now this isn't the best of them. And I actually just watched one recently again, and I was like, still holds up.
Yeah, but
mainly because
so
you're saying that the jump from 1 to 2 was so great that it just blew your dick off.
Bro, it's Alien to Aliens. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is,
like,
sure.
And I also think the same. I think how can the John Wick series just keep on going and going and going and going, trying to top itself? It's just like a.
You know what it is?
It's what's it called? Not Sisyphean task.
I'm no sissy, brother.
Task.
Yeah, you're a fucking sissy, bro.
We're like real quick. Eric,
no, Theseus. No, is that who it is? Who pushes the boulder? Is what you're saying? Who
I don't know.
The boulder.
But like, I think Eric, that the issue is
Sisyphus.
Like, they're going
Sisyphean
like,
task.
wide. They're going wide instead of like up. It's like.
Well, yeah, because their up is dead. They can't go up no more because their vertical is dead.
Yeah.
No,
like,
I just more meant like action sequences, set pieces.
But then we don't want this to be Fast and the Furious. Like that's where you go with
whoa.
I mean, maybe I do actually. I do. I'm watching Fast 10. But...
Yeah, you're really speaking for the whole group here.
I was honestly a little worried about John Wick 4 because like it gets to a point where like you're just creating the series just to create money, and you lose the originality of John Wick.
But that's why in 3 they took a step back. Like in 3, he does a lot. He uses like he rides a horse a lot of the movie. He uses a lot of like ninja stars and knives and stuff like that. Like they kind of try to take it back a step because like 2 is balls to the wall. Like he is going off crazy. He has all these crazy gadget stuff. Yeah. And I feel like in 3 they try to tone it down again. So like. And I just think that's the issue where it's like, I don't think they want him to go too crazy because, like, John Wick's already shown to be OP with just handguns. Like, I don't know if they give him more weapons, would it really improve this series?
But it's not about weaponry, right? I think what Eric is saying, and Eric, correct me if I'm wrong, is it's hard to innovate on action sequences past the 4th movie because they've done everything already. Yeah. Right? Is that what you're saying, Eric?
Yeah.
Okay.
And like even with 3, I remember vividly the horse sequence, the awful CGI on the motorcycles of John Wick knocking the guys off the motorcycles. It looked like shit.
Yeah.
But and this movie has some portions where the CGI looks like shit.
I agree with you on that. Some of the CGI elements really took me out of this fucking movie.
I was like, for sure. The first one didn't have any CGI at all.
Right.
Second one, I don't think the second one had any major.
I don't think so either.
No, the second one is stunt heavy though, but like the other one is like more like they are bigger set pieces.
And that's what I mean. But like in 3, they're like, okay, we gotta top it. All right, let's add motorcycles. But then they couldn't do that in real life. People were getting knocked off the motorcycle, so they CGI'd it. And this one, it goes even bigger, and they're like, okay, Arc de Triomphe, it's cool. I like that whole set, but some of the CGI looked like shit.
What parts of that Arc de Triomphe scene did you not like? I didn't think it looked bad there. I thought the sunset looked like shit. But like, I didn't think that scene looked bad. Talk to me. I want to hear it.
There's some sequences where like the dudes would get run over and it would just look so it would look like shit.
Okay.
It was mainly that. And it's a nitpick, right?
Yeah, it is because
and at this point I am nitpicking even like stuff with the villain and stuff because if not it's just like, hey, I thought the villain was just as good as the villain in 3. I thought 3 was a great movie. Like this also villain is because the villain is cool. He's great. The This one does a cool thing though. I think when they add in the
Nobody
bounty hunter guy or
Mr. Nobody. His name's Nobody.
Mr. Nobody.
Yeah, but what does John Wick call him? He's like, you're a scavenger or
no.
a hunter?
He calls him the Tracker, but his name is. But he tells everybody his name is Mr. Nobody.
Yeah, But like that's another thing where I'm like, oh, okay, that's kind of interesting. They expanded like another like because there's other roles in this universe.
He was cool as shit. I thought that character was rad. Yeah.
Yeah. And then still, I think having that character shows you like there are different sides of this world too. Like because there's still this weird thing where the police are like aware of the know hitman and they just like let him be. So like we don't even see really cops like outside of like the first movie. But like also too like having the tracker guy and then having being like an outside party in because like you assume everyone's kind of like in the world, but it seems like he's more of a like they're all contractors, but like he's a contractor outside of the world of contractors.
He's an independent contractor.
Well, yeah, but he's also we've only ever seen assassins. And he is an assassin though. He's ready to kill John the minute that shit hits 50 mil, but he just never does it.
In a sense, I think too, like, because I think they do killing, but they also just do. I think he would have just caught John Wick, given John Wick the like, and let them kill him. Because when he's like, "Oh, go in there and kill him," he's like, "Hey, what are you talking about? I found him." So I think like, so that's how he's different than an assassin, where it's like he'll like do some catching and like I'll tie John Wick and I'll give him to you. When all the other people are like, no, if I shoot him, I get $50 million or whatever the final one was.
Well, he was trying to get that easy bag.
Right. I think he was just trying to get easy money. So he's like, bro, you contracted me to find this man. Life. Right. Yeah. Because he knows that he's the Baba Yaga.
Find John Wick.
Though. Yeah.
You're a fool.
Me either. Circle, dude. Yeah. Get me away from that man because he's a killer. But I'm trying to think about whether or not they say it. Is this whole organization just killers?
No, because like we see, I mean, the people that all work for like, because technically the whole society is people that work at the hotel, is people that are the judges, that are people like, you know what I mean? Like, so in this world, this is just the law. You know what I mean?
Their special doctors.
Yeah. Because
everyone's within the society.
I think we're gonna have to rewatch the series. I think we're going to have to sit down and watch all of them.
Because, like, everyone still reports to the high table. Because even in, is it 2, where the guy, when he helps John Wick, but he's like, he has to shoot him or whatever. And, like, because they all...
Oh, the doctor. The underground doctor or whatever.
Because even him, he has to abide by the table's decision to make him deconsecrated.
Yeah, but...
Excommunicado.
There's no...
Yeah.
They're not employing garbage people. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to figure out what... And maybe they just don't talk about it.
But in this world, like when they go, it's I think it's in 2 where like everyone's like a regular person, and then it goes thing, and you see everyone's phone go off. Where I'm like, there might be regular people.
Yeah, that was at the end of 2. Yeah.
There might not be a single regular person in the joint though.
You know what I'm saying though? Yeah.
Like, I think people have theorized that in this world, like there isn't any wars. It's these organizations that go up against each other.
Okay.
I think this is like the mob, and it just took over. Like the mob didn't get shut down.
So this is an alternate universe where mafiosos took the world over, and governments are just figureheads. Okay, yeah. I can vibe with that. That helps.
Because that's one of the theories.
That's kind of how it seems. And then I haven't read that theory, but like I can see why people found that theory because that's kind of how I've looked at it. Like in a sense, because it's kind of hard to put words to like what is going on in this world. Because even like when it was like doctors and polices and stuff like that, they still like the mob had them under their pocket and stuff like that.
Right.
So like I feel like it's very similar. But in this world, it's not bad to fall under the table because everyone falls under the table.
That might be something that they bring up in the Continental then.
Yeah.
Whenever that drops.
Because I don't see the spin-off being anything other than another action movie. Like I don't think that one really expands too much. But I think the series, especially because it's going to be longer, like they can kind of, and it's more of an origin thing. I know a lot of people are saying like John Wick 5 should be a prequel. But like my thing is in the comic books is the prequel to John Wick. Like, really? and I don't know if it's considered canon. Like it's like okay, we'll just read the comics. But if not, it's like okay, sure. But like my issue is they've already kind of told that story, and I know it's not.
But like no one reads comics, so
But also. Fucking Keanu Reeves is too old to be playing 20-year-old Keanu Reeves, And
I think that'd be the issue too. Like, who do you cast? Like,
nobody. You can't. How could you cast anybody?
I thought it was perfect that he was legit getting tired after he nunchucked to death people. Mm-hmm. He was like on the floor panting.
I think that's like
realistic.
That's the best thing I think about this movie, and a little, like 3 does it kind of well too, but like this movie I think does the best. I felt like John Wick was like his closest to death because even in the end he may or may not die, but it's just like I like when John Wick gets thrown out of a building and you see him grimace, you see him struggle to get up. He kind of feels like Batman in a sense, which I think is cool because it's like, yeah, he doesn't have superpowers. Like John Wick hurts and John Wick bleeds, and like I like how John Wick gets hit with bullets. There's like things in a lot of movies where this type of character doesn't get phased too much, but like you see John Wick go through it in all these movies, which I think is why it's also fantastic. So he's reading something.
There's no consensus as to whether or not the comic book is canon. Mostly people on Reddit are saying it's most likely not canon because it says that he is South African or Hispanic. Nobody really knows.
So in the first issue, he ends up in like Mexico or something. Like either the John Wick character, it could be some alternate universe thing.
But chapter 3, they explicitly state that he is Eastern European and he worked for the Eastern Europeans. That's how he got into the job, Okay. So the comic book probably isn't canon, but also who the fuck is looking for canonicity in the John Wick series, But
also too, it's like I doubt that they thought they're gonna have, because I don't know if 2 came out yet. So it's like they might have made it the comic after 1 or after 2. They like 3 and 4 came out and it may have been after the fact.
3 was already out.
Okay, so it's kind of weird then. So there was a lot of information out for them to like. It's probably just an alternate universe thing.
Yeah, and they probably just gave it to the comic book writer and was like, it's John Wick, baby. Fuck it up.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty decent. Like, it's a little mini series.
I mean, Greg Pak is a great author, so like, it's probably a banger.
It's like, even though we're getting more John Wick stuff, but like, if you wanted more John Wick stuff,
I thought the only fluff about this movie was the first like 10 minutes of it, where he just killed the elder. Like that just seemed left over from.
So the issue with John Wick movies is, and I don't know if it's really an issue, but they take place right after one, right after another. Like there's no like delay. Like,
but like that part specifically, they could have just started with what happened after that.
But I know, like, I get what you're saying, and they could have done it, like, just have said it. But the whole reason was to just be like, okay, you did this, so now that's why they nominated the Marquis. Because without them, they probably wouldn't have had the whole Marquis thing. So they did that after he killed the,
But this is the second elder he's killed. He killed an elder in the third one.
Who is the elder that he killed in the third one? Oh, girl? Santino's sister or whatever?
Does he kill the first guy that chops off his finger, or no?
I thought he did.
I can't remember.
What did I say earlier about this movie series being 10 years old and it's hard for me to keep up because I've only ever seen them twice and that's it? I'm trying to remember.
I mean, that's the thing with the John Wick universe where they keep expanding. Where like it was a lot easier in 1 and 2, but now like into 4, there's a lot of universe. So like. And I don't know how I feel about it because this is what I've wanted. Because like every time I see a John Wick, I'm like, oh, they expanded. I want to know more. And they are doing that. So I think they know kind of what the fan base wants. And maybe it's just me getting overwhelmed by the universe.
Yeah. I remember you saying that. You're like, oh, man, they hinted just enough in the second one. But we need more.
Yeah.
Now
they're doing it.
And they're giving you more.
But I feel like they're opening up a fire hose. I was drinking out of a garden hose for a second. And then now I'm just like, oh, there's too much John Wick.
Yeah. But like too, I mean, we knew there was other Continentals already, so like they having another one wasn't big to me because like every major city probably has one. But
this was Japanese, which is cool.
Yeah,
because it looks
more
dope.
Of this culture.
So did I.
The issue with that is like I would have rather that one have been, one of the earlier movies where we could have spent more time there.
Yeah,
like this one goes. It's like you get a little bit of it, and then you're kind of rushed into the characters. Also, too, like, and it may be in a spinoff or a prequel because, like, with the way the end credit stuff goes, where it's like we may get more of the Japanese culture and stuff like that with those characters, because we don't know how they're gonna tell that story. But I'm assuming they're gonna tell that story because why have that scene?
Yeah, it'd be, and this is
Not the
first.
Sopranos it.
This is the first end credit scene in the John Wick universe.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So like
it means something.
Yeah, it's gotta. Otherwise, it's just like okay, jackasses, don't even bother. Let me think she's dead.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people on, like, oh man, he totally hears it because like he has like hypersensitive hearing or whatever. like the little blade. Yeah, like dude is kind of like Daredevil. Though.
I mean, he would have been able to hear it, but that doesn't mean he's gonna be able to kill her.
Oh, I mean, I think he puts her down. I think he doesn't kill her.
No
because
way, bro. No way.
It's, the friend or whatever. But I mean, he wasn't even going to kill him. Some people have too much honor and some people have no honor in this universe, where it's either all honor or no honor, and I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like old boy, the Koji from the Continental, the dad, should have just walked away.
He tells him, he says, "Hey, go with your daughter."
Because I'm about to fuck your world up blind style, homeboy.
Yeah. But it's also his culture as well, right? It's his culture on top of the table culture.
Yeah. Like, so especially, I mean, he wears like I don't know what it's correctly called, but like, he's wearing like the old like Japanese like attire and stuff like that. So I'm sure too, like culturally, like he can't just surrender.
Nah,
so
bro.
I
think
the knife.
I 100% I think he's wearing that for the drip.
I mean, it's drippy.
Because you're not gonna fight in that. You're crazy as hell if you think he's fighting in that. So he didn't think nobody was gonna come to his place of work and shit on his chest.
I mean, he would have worked everybody, but like, I mean, that's the thing. Like, there's levels to this. Like, he's an A tier fighter, but like, oh boy.
But Donnie Yen's S+.
Yeah, IP man, S++.
Hitman 100%, yeah. I mean, he fucking killed John Wick, dude. Like, blind. He fucking went toe-to-toe with John Wick blind in a pistol duel.
Dude, this was the end of Dodgeball. Dude, it was crazy.
Yeah, 100%.
Imagine him with eyes.
Yeah, him with eyes would have been ridiculous. If they didn't... Oh, my God. I can't even imagine.
Why he took his eyes. Well, no, because you figure it had to be something crazy, because in the universe, we've only seen two people be able to technically step away. Like, so he couldn't have...
You mean two people including Donnie Yen? Arcane is his character's name?
I mean, so I've only seen him and John Wick, who's another person.
I'm just asking. I didn't know if you were including him in the two or not. I was going to be like, who the fuck's the other person?
John Wick.
Yeah.
So John Wick literally killed a whole empire of people, pretty much. And then he literally, like, he's an on-call assassin, and then he blinded himself, like, to show whatever.
Which, like, small tangent. How did he do that? Because his eyes look great. Was it lemon? Salt and lemon?
Kind of poisons and stuff in this universe,
Yeah.
I assume he like stabbed himself, but then when you look at his eyes, they don't look like they've been stabbed.
They look like cataracts almost, like real bad cataracts.
I thought he just was naturally blind until he says it. He's like,
I thought it was
no, I gave it to him.
Yeah, I gave it to him.
They had a surgeon remove his optical nerves in the back.
Oh my God. They just snip the tube that sends the image. It's a lot like a vasectomy. We'll just put a new tube back there when we give it back to you. So, how did y'all feel about Scott Adkins as a fat guy in this movie? Pretty cool, right?
Bro, that shit was tight.
Major penguin vibes.
Major what vibes?
Penguin vibes.
Oh,
from
big
Batman.
penguin vibes. Yeah, 100%. I think
I just love it because, like, I love when people are just forces. He's like Kingpin,
Yeah,
like he's just a force. Like,
man put a whole fucking clip into old boy, and that was it. Yeah. And he was still like, "I'm coming for you."
Perfect that he was German.
The whole character was hilarious, but that was fluff. Yeah. I think that was the fluff. Now that I think about it,
nah, dude, I love that part. Don't say
you
that's
can love the fluff though. Who said you can't love filler?
Dude, I like filler arcs in anime sometimes. But then, the anime.
Animes.
They fucked it up by CGIing his death. It looked like shit.
Yeah.
I thought it looked kind of crazy, though, dude, when his neck is, like, squished.
But...
No,
the impact looked like shit, though.
Yeah. I mean, it was still, like, so crazy that's the way he died, though, so I was kind of like, it was whatever.
But then he died with a smile on his face, and that shit was hilarious.
Bro, but... never mind. I was gonna say
we're spoilers. We're in spoilers. I
was gonna spoil a thing in our review later. My favorite part.
Oh, you could spoil. We spoil favorite parts all the time. I'm gonna
when
skip
he's
your ass.
beating the shit out of John Wick, man, he's fucking flipping him. He's fucking doing all this shit to him. I was like, holy fuck.
John Wick, I got goosebumps. Throwing him off of only 4 stories. Like 4 stories ain't enough.
Yeah, you ain't lying.
10 stories.
So
I thought there was gonna be a shot where like he misses a punch and like he punches the brick and breaks the brick.
how
That's
rad
how
would that have
fucking
been?
powerful this guy would be.
I don't know how I missed it, but he's supposedly the head of the German table.
Oh,
I don't know
I
when
guess
they
that makes
talked about
sense
that.
because I assume in this world, like it's like probably a table member is only allowed to kill a table member. So like he kills a girl. I'm assuming she's in her father, right? Like yeah. So like
the head
he's the
honcho.
head of So like I'm assuming since that guy's so high because he's the head of a family. That's what also gives me mob vibes. Is like so like they sent him to kill them, and they're like, okay, hey, now we're square. Bow down to me and do your allegiance to the table.
Sure.
To your family.
There was a lot of pronouns in there, so I think I followed.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
The table sent the table German guy to kill someone from that Roman or where are they from?
There's
Russia.
some all my homies in Russia actually.
Yeah.
I don't know, there's some Western European country. I have no idea.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell.
But yeah, like because I feel like you couldn't just send a regular hitman to kill the head of a family. Like so that's why they sent him, probably because they're close in vicinity.
Okay. I fuck with that.
Like there's just some stuff where I'm like, and that's why maybe it is a little fluffy because they add that, and then it also involves you to like, hey, let me think how this plays out.
Bro, these movies though, you need a fucking family chart. You need a tree. You need a family tree. Otherwise, I don't fucking know who we're talking about or what we're talking about.
Well,
all I know is John Wick's gonna kill him. He's gonna stab someone in the throat.
I remembered when he was saying like she was like, oh, they killed my father and they made us bow or whatever, and because at first I was like, oh, they killed the lady from the last movie that was like the head of his family, who I thought was the head of his family, the lady, the opera lady that they stab her hands.
Santorini's sister, yeah.
Is that who that sister? Wait, no. Is it? Wait.
See, this is what I'm
in
talking
John Wick
about.
2, yes, it's Santorini's sister.
So the lady that the ticket thing that gives him the ticket, that lady they stab her hands for helping John Wick.
I was thinking of a different lady.
So like yeah, she I thought was the head of the family. So I thought they killed her, but then now it's like, oh no, it was some dude. So like, I'm a little confused. But I guess also they were in New York, and now, oh wait, were they in New York?
No. He was in Europe. He was in Paris or some shit. He was in France or Italy or some shit.
Okay, and because he needs the boat to go to Morocco or wherever to see.
I don't know, man. Yeah, honestly, you could be talking about a completely different movie series, and I would just have to take your word for it because I don't fucking know.
You're on it though, James. Okay. She's the head of the specific orphanage that John Wick was raised in.
The Hands lady or the Santino sister?
Yeah, Hands lady.
Okay, I remember that now.
Ballerina.
Right, yeah. She's going to be in the Ballerina series for sure.
She's the head of the family. She's like the head nun, you could say, of that. She's not. I don't think she's the head of the whole Russian family.
No.
Okay.
I
don't think she is.
That was the dad that died, right? I'm assuming. Okay.
The dad.
We're there.
The dude, he was like,
there's levels.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about.
Let me see Priya, and he gets shotgunned.
We need to watch all four of them back to back so that we fully understand. And I think it's gonna click.
Because I watched the interview with Stileski, and he's like, "Yeah, we're action guys. We just make this shit as plain as possible."
Bullshit. Yeah, he's
real quick
because they were reacting to theories. Yeah. And him and Keanu were like, bro, it's not that deep. It's not that deep.
But really, it is though. Go ahead,
let's watch all four.
Yeah.
Let's make a video where the camera's on us and a whiteboard, and we talk about it, and we just write stuff on the whiteboard.
We need to do that.
See how linear it is.
We need to do that before we watch all the four of the movies, and then watch them all, and then we can be like, we fucked this up royally. We ruined this.
Yeah. Because even right then, and I don't want to fact check nothing when we're doing the first part.
No, I want to absolutely not.
From brain, because already 2 and 3, I'm like, okay, it's a little wonky a little bit.
Just a little bit.
I know how 2 ends and 3 starts.
I'm glad y'all do.
1 and 2 though, like.
Yeah.
He kills him. They're like, that's not everybody. He's like, all right, I'm finding everybody. He's like the Punisher, honestly.
He makes the Punisher look like a little baby, though. To be honest with you, the Punisher witches. What the hell was I gonna bring up? shit, we got too busy talking about lore, and I forgot what about this movie I want to bring up.
Go
ahead.
I think they broke a cardinal John Wick sin.
What?
That silencer gun he had in the stairway portion, he kept on firing that bitch. It had like 60 shots in it.
You didn't know because they cut away. You might not have seen him reloading.
We assume that he reloads in the cuts, but why not just show it?
He at least reloads a couple times because different weapons. But like, yeah, this movie had the least amount of John Wick reloading. But also too, this is almost like the least amount of John Wick. There was a decent amount of movie with John Wick was really not.
Dude, it was more like a Donnie Yen movie than it was a John Wick movie.
For sure.
Or it was Mr. Nobody and Kane. That's who were the stars of the show.
And Wilson.
Also,
yeah.
There was like 5 main characters counting the villain. And
yeah.
So like there's a lot where, and that's probably my biggest like issue with this movie is like this is a John Wick verse movie versus the other ones being like John Wick films.
Yeah.
Like but the thing is the universe is so cool that I still rock with it.
Yeah, I mean if the next one just didn't have any John in it, as long as everybody else is dope, I wouldn't even think about it. I'd be like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
but
I mean, because they've already introduced 2 characters that I like care enough about, like in the daughter and in the tracker, where I'm like, oh, let's see more about that.
Yeah.
And still, like even Laurence Fishburne, like his whole society, they didn't even use in this movie. I think though that society's crazy.
That speech that he gives when he's taking him the suit, where he's like, "You are now in the presence of the motherfucking king." I was like, "Oh, Laurence Fishburne, oh, you're so good." My man is a showman, dude.
Dante's Inferno type shit.
Yeah.
Dude, so he's like Tony Soprano though, where they're a family. But like New York looks at them as like honestly, what do they call the other like that are not family below family? A glorified like group or something like New York calls them in Sopranos.
Oh really?
Oh
yeah.
I know you're talking. I can't remember what they said specifically.
Because like there's actual like because like the Sopranos are an actual family, but like the way they look down on them is because they're like a secondary family because they don't have ties really to like the old country pretty much.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's how they look at him. He has his whole network, but like you could tell he built it up from ground, and then they probably were like, "Hey, no, you must fall under the table," and he's still kind of just like, "I did this shit myself."
Yeah,
that's a backstory I gave him at least.
No, that is legit.
He talks about it though.
The underground.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's not under the table. He's his own thing.
Yeah,
he's under the table because they slashed him.
He's under the table. Yeah, but
it was like I think he made his own stuff. And then they were like, we can't have this, so you must bow to us." And then he was like, "I ain't got no
didn't
choice."
bow.
No, my man decided I'm gonna have my own table with blackjack and hookers, and then left. He threw up the bird and walked out.
Even though I did feel a little fluffy, the card scene or whatever, I thought it was interesting. Where he's like, "This each person had a hand they thought was the winning hand," which I thought was kind of interesting, but it just wasn't needed. And those cards were kind of crazy because I didn't expect them to be like metal or wherever they were.
Yeah.
But I was like, dude, this dude's like the Riddler, the Joker, like this dude's like the Penguin, like this dude's every Batman villain in one.
It kind of sucks that he died, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
bro. When he pulled out that hand cannon, people were like, "Holy fuck!" The size of that gun. Like the dude next to me, he was like, "Holy fuck, that is gun."
Yeah.
The thing, most people were quiet in my viewing, other than when Scott Adkins was on the screen and he started doing kung fu shit, and literally multiple people went, "I can't tell if he's fat or not." They're like, "I don't know if it's legit."
The fuck out during that part.
I think his aesthetic is so good though because we even see it like in this movie where you see all different forms of people are like these assassins.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and in this world, anybody can be an assassin.
Fat, blind, idiot, doesn't matter. You can be an assassin, baby. All right, what else do we got? Or do we want to move forward? We're at 50
I missed it when I viewed
minutes.
it, but the streamer, he was talking about John Wick, and he was like, I love how John Wick, he's a professional, right? But then the goons that are coming after him aren't professionals. Because, like, apparently at one point, one of the goons, he put his, like, gun in, like, his pocket. And then he forgot where the fucking gun or knife was when he was trying to fight John Wick.
Yeah.
He was, like, flubbing, and then he ends up getting killed.
But
and then apparently there's another part where, like, the dudes don't know how to look both left and right on the street, or, like, on the arc, and then they get run over. So it's like demonstrating that like John Wick's a professional. He's been doing this for fucking 3 movies. And these guys are like, oh, I'm trying to get the easy bag.
Yeah.
Let's go kill John Wick.
And I think you see that with like they're the level of like certain characters, because there are multiple of the like big hitman that don't kill John Wick if it's not a fair fight. Like, but you have all like these little like practically like the gang versions of like these hitman, and they're just trying to just go at him full force, full tilt. But like their inexperience is why they get got. Because any of the other ones, like, you know, they kind of even there's multiple times where John Wick kind of draws to somebody and then he just kind of gets out there and they're just like, all right, I'll find him again. Like they don't even chase after him.
I mean, the tracker does that the whole time. He's like, all right, I saved his life. I'm gonna keep looking at a boy though.
Yeah,
yeah.
He at least had his makes the most sense at least though, because it's like he's clearly waiting for the amount to get to a certain extent.
Yeah. Really quick. The guy who's directing Ballerina is man's is real hot and cold. He did Underworld Evolution, so the sequel.
Okay. Yeah, Rise of the Lycans. Did he?
No.
Okay.
Just Evolution. Yeah. So that's 2.
Second one then? Okay.
Yeah. 3 is Rise of the Lycans, pretty sure.
Oh, gotcha. That makes sense.
Then he did Live Free or Die Hard. Okay. Real bad one. And then he did the Total Recall remake in 2012.
Who's writing it though? Is it the same writer that's been on these though?
I have no idea, but my man is real bad at directing.
Yeah.
It looks so. Shay Hayton is on it.
He did 3 and 4.
Yes, and Army of the Dead and Army of Thieves. So you know, at least it'll be fun still.
Yeah.
The other 2 writers have not done a ton. So
they have him on Ballerina as TBA, so I think he is writing it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And he also wrote part of Day Shift. Day Shift honestly is a low-key banger, and I know we reviewed it.
Whoa. Low-key banger is a bit of a stretch. Fun movie,
Dude. No, but it's like that's because it's like low-key, because everyone's gonna think it's gonna be like so terrible. So that's why it's like low-key kind of a banger.
Look, man.
Now, if everyone knew about it and went to go watch it, kind of shitty.
What do we get with it?
I don't know. I'd have to check, but we literally saw Snoop Dogg almost die and then Crip walk away during the end credit scene.
Yeah,
it's a silly movie for sure.
For sure.
Oh wait, it doesn't have a rating next to it.
Oh, that was one of the ones I didn't do. Then get fucked, nerds. I don't know. I'll look it up later and fill it in.
We gave it 6s and 7s.
100%. Nobody gave it over a 6. I don't think.
One of us. I thought I gave it a 5.
I think you or I gave it a 5 for sure.
Too much fun to be any less.
You love that Snoop Dogg moment, dude. Y'all were
I thought it was
dude, when he dropped the West Side for Life.
That was terrible, man.
Nah, that shit was hot. It was so good. All right, let's move on to questions then. James, what's your favorite part of John Wick Chapter 4?
So it's between like the staircase sequence and the assault on the Continental in Japan.
Eric?
I think it would have to be the top-down fucking video game. I love that shit.
That was also my favorite part because he had the dragon's breath.
Hotline Miami.
Dude, and he was blowing motherfuckers away. That dragon breath was just blowing people up. Boom, boom, boom. That shit was hot.
The camera work is pretty fantastic, but it's also too because they have great choreography. Like that's what this movie does, though. This franchise, you're not gonna find better choreography. Like also too in this franchise, like it may be like the only franchise, and I'd have to look, and I'm not really big on Scream, but just from like how people talk about the franchise, like, but even though they have like one miss, I think it's like 4 or something.
This is bigger. This is better than Scream. This is more consistent.
This might be the most flawless franchise of all time.
Of all time, for sure.
Yeah,
maybe Avatar.
A lot of movies have. I don't.
What did you say?
I said maybe Avatar.
Sure.
Look, that second one was fun.
Until they get to Let's See 3,
the first one was dog.
I mean, yeah, the third one's gonna that'll determine whether or not it's even in the running. But yeah, I think John Wick is the best movie franchise of all time.
I would like to see like my only the one I could even think of would be Scream because they put out like 5 really good movies compared to But I know I don't watch them though. I just know one is always like an all-time great. That's the only one I've ever seen. But just based on how people talk about that as a horror franchise.
So are we considering the Hobbit movies in the same franchise as the Lord of the Ring movies?
I mean, they're prequels. It depends. Will you
Fuck.
count the spin-offs and stuff as part of John Wick when they come out? If the answer is no, then I'd say leave the Hobbit off. If you say yes, then I said you add the Hobbit.
I would argue no. But then when you're talking about like The Conjuring, I don't think anybody ever thinks of just the main line, the three Conjuring movies that we got, right? Yeah. Everybody thinks of the side movies. So I don't think you could. I think you'd have to then. You'd have to look at all the spinoffs and everything.
I count like when I think of like Freddy and Jason movies, I like Freddy vs. Jason is like considered one of their movies to me. Like,
no, but it is. But it's in the timeline. It's in the timeline. It's like a mainline movie. I looked up top 10 movie franchises of all time. Number 1, Star Wars. No, just no.
Listen with that shit.
Number 2 is Lord of the Rings. Number 3 is the Marvel franchise. No, not even in the running. There's so many mid movies that you cannot put it even in the top 10.
See, the issue with those ones, it's actually too big. Like, you can't get that big and not miss. It's impossible. And also, too, you're doing different types of movies with the MCU. It's not gonna the people that are watching this know what you're getting. We're not gonna see a John Wick political drama, John Wick rom-com, John Wick. You know what I mean?
John Wick Ant-Man. Yeah. There's no way.
John Wick multiverse. Imagine, you know.
The number 4 is Harry Potter. I could see it. I mean, the first couple movies are kind of dog shit, but they get pretty hard.
I've never really watched it.
I think as a franchise, like Harry Potter is like strong 7, 8. So I can see it.
Definitely no 4 though. Not 4.
No.
Now this one I didn't think about till I saw it. Indiana Jones. 3 of the 4 movies are straight heat, straight bangers.
But I think it has. Yeah, I think they it can't be 1 because it just misses 1. But I understand it's up there.
No, yeah. It would never be 1, but I think it deserves to be on the list.
If someone told me it was top 5, at worst a top 10 list, I'd be all about it.
Yeah. Now here's one that I don't know why it's here. The Batman franchise.
What?
Because you have to count
that's crazy. Batman and Robin is so bad. It's so bad.
I would give the issue is because I count them as so the first 3 Batmans are one franchise, and I will count the Batman Matt Reeves stuff a different franchise, and then the DCU stuff a different franchise, because they're all they're pretty different. But the first 3 ones have the same goddamn Alfred, and they're supposed to be the same person. But
Batman and Robin has a different director though.
Yeah, because they didn't want to be a part of it. There's the difference,
I think we can all agree Batman doesn't deserve to be on the list, though, for sure. No. James Bond.
James Bond has too many misses, too, is the thing. They just have too many movies.
It's too large. Yeah.
It is way too big to be fantastic the whole way through.
I mean, even if you count the last James Bond, he doesn't have all...
no, there's a couple... There's 2 misses.
Right?
Yeah, there's 2 misses in his 4 series franchise.
There's some bangers. You know what though? Mission Impossible deserves some.
I was about to say Mission Impossible.
We're not done with the list. We're not done with the list. Well, that was only 7, 8. Pirates of the Caribbean.
I haven't seen them. I don't know.
Not top 10. Not even fucking close, bro. Not even close. 9 is also whack. Jurassic Park.
No.
Throw it in the trash. Throw the shit right in the trash.
Jurassic Park World have 2 good movies to me. Both ones are good. I don't like 2. I don't like 3. Jurassic World 2 and 3 are also trash.
I think it's a whole series of mid. All of them are mid. None of them leave that B- territory for me. None of them.
I really like 1 Jurassic Park and 1 Jurassic World.
Now here's one that's a bit more. This makes sense. The Back to the Future series.
For sure.
Those 3 movies are straight fire. Straight fire.
Shit, wait a minute.
But they only stopped at 3.
See, that's my thing. John Wick, because it has 4, I would give it the bump. But that's a strong contender. I can get the argument.
Strong
if someone
contender.
said it, I'm down.
So that was 10. So I'm gonna rapid.
Saga?
I'm gonna rapid fire the next. I'll rapid fire the next 11. We're not gonna say nothing. You guys can react facially. You can make noises, but I'm not stopping to talk about them. All right. Number 11, the Toy Story series. Number 12, the Dark Knight series. Number 13, the Godfather series. Number 14, the Terminator series. Number 15, the Alien series. Number 16, the Spider-Man series. I'm assuming they mean all 9 of them. Number 17, the Despicable Me series.
Get the fuck out of here.
Number
That
8,
grew, though. That grew.
Number 18, the X-Men series. Number 19, the Mission Impossible series. Number 20, the Transformers series. Number 21, the Hunger Games. And number 22, the Rocky series. Oh, I'll give you top 25. Number 23, the Twilight series. Number 24, the Saw series. Number 25, the Lethal Weapon series.
Take this list, save it. We're fixing this list one day. Mission Impossible, way too low.
Look, I'll save it, but I think we could figure out the top 10 series list on our own without this. But this list, I think this list has all 10 of them. They're just not in the right order.
My thing is, I think it helps because, like, Toy Story, I just didn't think about. Like
I would have never.
Yeah. So, like, that's one reason I want the list, so I don't forget something that's clearly, there.
Okay, now that we have that YouTube video we just recorded midstream, what part were we at? Least favorite parts. James, go.
The movie might have just like try to do too much world building in certain spots, which some of it I love, some of it I was like, we could have said that for the prequel or the spinoff.
Eric?
CGI.
I'm gonna go anything to do with Winston. Get his old broke bitch ass out of here. Ian McShane is fantastic as the character, but the character's a bitch, and he deserves. He should have died. Lance Reddick should have lived. He should have been the new manager.
The character has like gotten worse throughout the series.
Yeah,
bring back my boy.
I think
Johnny Lasagna.
Johnny Lasagna. John Leguizamo. Right. What were you gonna say, Eric, really quick before we do Cinema Scores?
I think we're knowing his true intentions more and more each movie. So we thought he was a good person. He's actually a shitty person.
Yeah, that makes sense. I still.
They should have kept the Green Goblin alive.
Oh yeah, they should have.
In Reason What?
Nah,
yeah.
Man. He actually had his bag, dude.
What the fuck? What's my least favorite? Oh, I said my least favorite part. Cinema Scores. Would we rent it? No.
Yeah.
Would we buy this movie physically? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, you hesitated. I was like, I don't know what he's going to say now.
I was just going to be like, yeah, when they all come out, but that's kind of what I mean.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, in 20 years when they've made another 2 movies and we're like, we got to have it.
I already own 1 and 2.
I own all 3.
I bought the first one, and then I bought the 2 and 3 pack.
That's the way to do it.
I think I might as well buy the 3-4 pack because I already have 1 and 2. So
yeah. Would you buy it digitally? No.
I'm almost there.
I'm gonna fuck it up.
Would you buy it in the $5 bin at Best Buy, Walmart, FYE, or Vudu? Yes.
Easy money.
Yeah.
Would you put this on in the background while people are over?
Oh,
Yes.
100%.
All the time.
Would you watch this again?
We have to.
No.
I'm
going to raw dog it. I'm going to do all of it through my memory. I'm going to force sheer will it.
You can't even remember 3?
But I saw 3 2 years ago. 3 years ago, actually. I bought 3 sight unseen. I bought 3 and never watched it.
Holy shit.
Okay. Ratings. What are we giving John Wick Chapter 4? Go ahead, Eric.
I'm going to give it 10 out of 10 blown out Dolby speakers, dude.
Oh, wow.
They cranked this shit out so much, man. Even in the market showing, the fucking volume was maxed.
He turned this shit all the way up.
Like when that opening scene, he's punching that fucking thing. That shit was so fucking loud.
Yeah, that shit was rumbling my seat. It was crazy. That man ain't hitting that shit that hard.
It was a jump scare, man.
You heard the motherfucking king. Boom, boom, boom. James, what are you giving it?
I'll give it 9.5 weapon changes throughout the movie because anytime John Wick needs the right weapon shows up.
My man is taking all of it. I am also gonna give it 9.5 blind dudes shooting and killing the main character out of 10.
Allegedly.
No alleged. I seen it happen. He fucking murdered that man. Yeah, straight allegedly.
Yeah.
All right, everybody.
Visibly.
Thanks for tuning in on twitch.tv/SoonerLaterTV or youtube.com/@SoonerLaterTV for our review of John Wick Chapter 4. Continue listening and watching and showing your support on all social medias @SoonerLaterTV. If you couldn't catch us live on Twitch or YouTube at 7 p.m. on Sundays, don't worry. You can listen to us on all podcasting platforms on Wednesday afternoons. Just look up Sooner or Later TV. And tune in next week for our review of...
Something new coming out?
I don't know.
The new movies are coming out.
There's a ton of movies in April, right? Yeah, you'll know when we know. We love you guys. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.